Welcome again to my video series on research reports. In this video, I will be giving us reasons why some editors or reviewers accept manuscripts and why they reject manuscripts. It's very important as a researcher to know this so that you will do things that will facilitate the acceptance of your manuscripts and avoid those things that can make your manuscripts to be rejected. So let's get going right away. Why reviewers accept manuscripts? One, the importance, the timeliness, the relevance, and the prevalence of the problem addressed. So the problem addressed by the manuscript, how important is it? How timely is it? Or is it a problem that has, that is several years ago and is no longer a problem now? So how timely, how relevant, how prevalent is that problem? So that's one thing you want to take note of. So in selecting area of research, you want to select something very relevant, something current. You need to think about that. Then the quality of the writing style. That's another reason why manuscripts are accepted. The quality of the writing style. If the writing style is of high quality, it just flows naturally like that. That is, it is well written, it is clear, straightforward, easy to follow, and very logical. I mean, that's such manuscripts will likely be accepted. Another thing we need to consider is the study design applied. Is the design appropriate? Because that's one of the questions reviewers ask themselves. Is it adequate? Is it rigorous enough? Is it comprehensive enough? So that's very important. If the study design is great, then of course your manuscript will be accepted. Then another thing to look at is the degree to which the literature review was thoughtful, focused, and up to date. Yeah, very important. The literature that you have used in your work, how relevant are they to the thing you are working on? How focused are they? And then, are they up to date? Or your literature are 10 years ago, and in the write-up you are saying current something. And somebody is saying, you are citing this something as current situation, current trend in and the paper you are using to back it up is 10 years ago. That's not correct. So people look at that when they review your paper to determine how acceptable or not it is. And finally on that, the use of a sufficiently large sample. So reviewers want to be sure that, okay, what's the sample size of this person? Is the sample size sufficiently large enough, especially to reflect the study population? So that's one of the things. So if it's sufficiently large, of course, the manuscript will be accepted. Now let's see, how about those papers that are rejected by reviewers? What are some of the reasons given for rejecting papers for publication in journals? One of it is inappropriate, incomplete, or insufficiently described statistics. If your design is wrong, I mean, definitely analysis on that design will be wrong too. So, or if it is incomplete or it's insufficient, then the paper will likely be thrown out or thrown away or thrown back at you, as the case may be. Now, if there is overinterpretation of results, overinterpretation or exaggeration, saying that your results is saying what the result didn't really say, that can lead to rejection. Also, the use of inappropriate, suboptimal, or insufficiently described populations or instruments. If the population you are looking at is not sufficiently represented, then of course there will be no basis to accept such manuscripts. Such manuscripts will be rejected. They will just be rejected, thrown back at you. Or if the instrument you have used is inappropriate, then of course the paper will be thrown out. Another reason is small or biased samples. If the sample size is so small or they are particularly biased in the way they have been selected, the manuscript will likely be rejected. And finally on that, text that is poorly written or difficult to follow. When your work is poorly written, the grammar, sentence construction is poor, things are not flowing logically. I mean, people reading it will just be easily put off. And the reviewer, because reviewer has so many other things to do with his time, the reviewer will not be wasting time on a poorly written manuscript. He will just recommend outright rejection. So these are some of the reasons why reviewers reject manuscripts. So in our next video, we will discuss plagiarism, because plagiarism is one of the major problems that confronts a lot of people. So we want to look at what is plagiarism and see a few examples, the various types of plagiarisms that exist, and how to avoid plagiarism. All this we will be addressing in a series of videos that will follow this one. So be on the watch out for that. Thank you.